Have you ever wondered what happens to the children on Santa's naughty list after midnight? The town of Pine Hollow was the kind of place where snow fell heavy and silence reigned after dark. Christmas lights twinkled in frost-coated windows, but the glow barely reached the dark corners of the alleyways or the dense forest at the town's edge. This year, Christmas carried a chill colder than the snow. It started with the disappearance of a boy named Toby Brant. 8 years old, blonde hair, mischievous smile. Last seen walking home from the town square after his mother had let him run ahead. No footprints were ever found. A week later, little Emily Carter vanished from her bedroom. Her parents had tucked her in, kissed her forehead, and turned off the lights. But by morning, her bed was empty, her windows slightly ajar despite the bitter cold. Rumours spread like frostbite. The naughty list. They're taking the ones on the naughty list. But no one dared to say who they were. Martha Holloway, a local schoolteacher, couldn't ignore the pattern. She'd been marking assignments when she noticed something odd. The missing children had all received failing marks on their recent good behaviour reports. She stared at the lists, dread coiling in her stomach. Could it be? Could the stories actually be true? The naughty list wasn't a metaphor. It was real. The thought gnawed at her mind for days until she decided to act. Armed with little more than a lantern and a kitchen knife, Martha ventured into the night. Snow crunched underfoot as she walked past rows of houses where families slept soundly, unaware of the horrors lurking in the dark. At the heart of Pine Hollow was an old, abandoned workshop. No one remembered when it was built, or why it had never been torn down. Local kids dared each other to peek through its cracked windows, but no one lingered for long. Martha approached the building, its structure looming like the skeleton of some long-dead beast. The scent of peppermint and iron hung heavy in the freezing air. Frost rimed the warped wooden door. As she pushed it open, a chorus of tiny, inhuman giggles echoed from deep inside. The workshop was a labyrinth of dusty shelves, broken toys and strange machinery. The air was suffocating warm, thick with the smell of burning sugar and something darker, something rotten. Shadows flitted between the shelves. Small figures with hunched backs and elongated limbs peered at her from behind tattered curtains. Elves. Not the smiling, rosy-cheeked helpers from holiday movies. No, these creatures had sunken eyes, jagged teeth, and skin stretched tight over sharp bones. Their twisted little faces grinned at her from the shadows. "Santa's little helpers," they whispered in raspy voices. "We're just making sure the naughty ones learn their lessons." One of them scuttled forward, holding a small, blood-stained teddy bear. Deeper into the workshop, Martha found them. Children, dozens of them, shackled to wooden workbenches, their little hands blistered and raw as they assembled twisted toys under the elves' cruel supervision. Wooden horses with nails for teeth. Dolls with hollow eyes and stitched mouths. Marionettes with razor-wire strings. The children didn't cry. They didn't speak. Their eyes were glazed, empty. And in the centre of the room, on a towering throne made of broken sleds and splintered candy canes, sat him, Santa. But this wasn't the jolly old man from storybooks. His suit was stained crimson, his beard tangled with soot and grime. His eyes glowed faintly, like embers in a dying fire. He was massive, his frame filling the throne. His gloved hand rested on a crooked staff made of twisted wood and sharpened candy cane shards. He looked at Martha and smiled. "Every child must pay their dues," he said softly, his voice like crushed velvet mixed with the rasp of dying embers. "Good children get gifts. Naughty children, well, they become my helpers." The elves cackled, their teeth flashing in the dim light. Martha's heart thundered in her chest as Santa leaned forward, his massive bulk casting a shadow across her. "Will you take their place, Miss Holloway? Will you work until your fingers bleed and your spirit breaks? Or will you turn away and let them stay?" The elves closed in, their rusted tools clinking together. Martha spotted an old lantern hanging on a hook nearby. With a cry, she swung it into a shelf of old toys. Flames erupted, catching the dry wood and paper decorations. Chaos consumed the workshop. Elves screamed and scattered like rats, and Santa bellowed in fury as his throne caught fire. Martha ran. The building groaned and creaked as the fire swallowed it whole. She didn't stop running until she burst into the cold night air, smoke and ash filling her lungs. The town didn't believe her story, of course, but every year on Christmas Eve, Martha would leave her door unlocked, a lantern burning in her window, hoping, praying, that one of the lost children might find their way home. Sometimes in the dead of night, she swore she could hear little footsteps outside her door, and tiny, cruel laughter carried on the wind. If you enjoyed this tale of twisted holiday horror, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more chilling stories. Share this video with someone who thinks they know Santa's secrets, and remember, stay off the naughty list. Merry Christmas and sweet dreams.